The Celtic Forever podcast is a zero advert and zero profit channel. The channel also includes Celtic highlights and player interviews, so join the uninterrupted fun and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.
Hi folks, the warmest of welcomes to the Celtic Forever podcast. I am Xander and we're here to go through everything that's been happening at Celtic Park in the last few days, including the Dundee United preview. We'll obviously have a wee word on that. The Cup final catastrophe, we'll have a wee word on that. Wilfred and Nonce's comments, both John and I will have a wee chat on that. Correct score competitions, all the usual stuff we do as well. We'll go through everything. But let's say hello to John. How are you, John?
All right, Xander. Enjoying the cup final at the weekend there. Have a good time.
Yeah, party on, as they say. Into it, party on. It was absolutely dreadful, wasn't it, John? It was absolutely mind-numbingly dreadful, that performance by Celtic. The Hearts game was bad and the Roma game was even worse. But then you get to this Cup final where you think the players are going to be up for it, and clearly they were not up for it, John. Absolutely pathetic performance, not just by the manager, I might add, John, not just by Wilfred Nonce, but by the players as well, who look as though they've put the tools away. They're not playing for him. It looks as though he's lost the dressing room already, John.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? I don't want to talk ill of the guy, but what I've seen so far, it's a case of get it over with and move on when it comes to him, because I don't think he's going to cut it at Celtic. What I've seen so far, I mean, there isn't any Celtic fans happy, and reading all the stuff that I have read, there isn't many people feel they want to give this guy a chance, because he refuses to change a formation that's getting us absolutely scalped every game. And if he refuses to change that, then for me, he's no the man, what I've seen so far.
Yeah, he should change it, John, because he doesn't have the personnel to play this 3-4-2-1 formation that he's sticking with. We don't have the players for that. And, there's more injuries added to the list as well for the Dundee United game later tonight. And he's very, very stubborn. And then his comments as well, John. I put the video on last night, I think it was, his preview interview, if you like, for the Dundee United game, and he's hitting out with the I don't need to prove myself to anybody, John. I mean, these comments have really upset the Celtic supporters.
Well, he's got a lot to prove. If you want to manage Celtic, you've got to hit the ground running, and I've seen him as he's absolutely sinking Celtic. He's dragging us right down. It's not just the defeats, it's the manner of the defeats, the way the team are playing. Big gaps, big massive gaps in the defence against teams like St Mirren. If he would have been playing Brecon, it'd have been the same result, because any professional team would have had a field day against Celtic. Would have a field day against Celtic right now. And I'm concerned about this game tonight as well.
Yeah, it was a massive concern, the Dundee United game. And by the way, a quick congratulations to St Mirren, by the way. They weren't up against much at the weekend there, but they've done the job, and fair play to them. A small provincial club like St Mirren winning a trophy, so well done to them and their manager. But it's all about Celtic, John. That's what we're here to talk about. We didn't turn up. We didn't have no hunger. We had no fight. We had no direction from the management team, and that's not just the manager, that's his assistants as well. Very, very tough to watch, John. The supporters are absolutely sickened by it. It was only 2-1 in the game. The Celtic supporters were walking out the stadium. That was before it even went to 3-1. So, yeah, the fans have had enough already. I've had enough. I've seen enough. I can tell you right now, it's not going to get any better. Even with a win against Dundee United tonight, John, as soon as we come up against, the Glasgow Derby, John, the Glasgow Derby is only a couple of weeks away. Nobody's even said a word about that. We play Rangers at Celtic Park at the start of January, John. Very, very, very tough game that, thinking ahead, doesn't bear thinking about, does it really? But, John, the situation is dire at the moment. What we are all hoping for is we do get that result against Dundee United later on tonight, and hopefully the team and the manager can kick on from there, John. But personally, I just can't see it.
I can't, excuse me, I can't see it because I don't see any signs of him wanting to change anything. He's very stubborn. He doesn't have to prove anything. Oh, you've got a lot to prove, mate, trust me. And by the way, well done to St Mirren. Thoroughly deserved their win on the day. Can't take it away from them. Even although it's never good to lose any game, especially a cup final. You've got to take your hat off to St Mirren and say well done to them. They've won a wee trophy for themselves. Hope you enjoy it. Keep it warm till next season for us.
Yeah.
Depending if things are sorted out. But no, well done to St Mirren. I think they played well on the day. Horrible to watch for a Celtic fan like myself and every other Celtic fan. But look, that's done now. That's finished. Well done to St Mirren. We move on for that. But we can only talk about this Wilfred Nancy guy. It's I just don't like what I'm seeing. I'm looking at when the camera pans onto the manager, Celtic manager, and his back team stuff. It turns my stomach, to be honest with you, but what I'm seeing at Celtic right now. This guy, for me, is not the right man for the job. People are saying give him a chance. He had the biggest 3 games of the season. Now, I says this when Martin O'Neill was there, that this is the biggest 3 games of the season, was Roma, Hearts and St Mirren. But he's managed to turn us into a laughing stock in all 3, Xander.
Yeah, all that good work Martin O'Neill and his back team staff done for Celtic, turning things right around. Things were looking really good and positive, for it to be slammed back down to 0 again, John, with these dreadful performances and results. Martin O'Neill was quite willing to stay on. That's came out as well over the last few days. He was quite willing to stay on for the Hearts game, the Roma game and the Cup final. And the Celtic board, again, 2 fingers up to you, Celtic supporters. That's basically what they're saying there. And by the way, that brings us on to the fan groups disgust and dismay at this Celtic board, John. They've been absolutely bang on from the start, to be perfectly honest with you. The board's, I don't think he's going to I don't think the board's going to give the new manager any money come January if he's still there. I think it's going to be penny pension again, John. Very little funds to spend for the new manager. As you said on the last podcast, would you trust him when you have decent sums of money anyway? Because, you can't get the best out of a league and cup winning team, John. Because you've got to remember, we are the champions. That's a league winning team there, John, a champions team. And he can't get the best out of them. It's absolutely worrying, John. Totally worrying for me. We do, of course, hope that Wilfred Nancy turns things around starting tonight. And we kick on from there with a win against Aberdeen and then a win against Rangers at Celtic Park, John. But as I said 5 minutes ago, I can't see it happening. But anyway, let's touch on the wee things that are happening in and around Celtic Park just now. A wee quick mention of the competition, correct score competition for the Dundee United game later on tonight. Get your correct score in for that. 1 guess each. Into the comments, 3 points. We've not had a correct guess for 4 games now. No wonder where the results have been pathetic, but get your guess in anyway. And I think there'll be a few people there, John, with some draws and defeats possibly.
I was just thinking about that there. I don't think anything. Look, there isn't a Celtic fan as confident in the team right now. So I think when it comes to the big league table, I think you might see a few people predicting a Dundee United win. I'm not really sure. I know it's early days, but the way I'm seeing the stubbornness for this guy, refusing to change the tactics, playing this 3 at the back. I was watching the game against St Mirren, by the way, and I'm watching Arnie Engels playing further back than Liam Scales. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Why is Arnie Engels standing in the centre back row and Liam Scales is away out in the wing, up at the halfway line? What is going on? look, the guy he's got it all wrong. If he thinks he can come in and change Celtic instantly like that, change the way Celtic play, he's got another thing coming. They boys are used to playing a certain way, and either the instructions are not getting across clearly to the players, or it's just really, really poor management, and we've signed an absolute dud. Take your pick.
Yeah, that's it, John. It's hard to say that against any Celtic manager, but you know, the worst start for any Celtic manager in Celtic's history. And you know, if he gets beat tonight, you know, God knows what's going to happen if Celtic get beat tonight. So we'll wait and see. As regards to wee bits of news, not really much happening outside of the Wilfred Nancy and Celtic forum situation. We do have Iniacho out injured now as well, John. I mean, an absolute catastrophe, to be honest with you. We've no striker. You know, we've actually no striker. Johnny Kenny, Dyson Mida. Kenny done nothing against St Mirren. Dyson Mida, yeah, he's not a striker, he's a winger, clearly. So that's our options now. So Iniacho, he's going to be out again after, you know, how long did he play? 30 minutes or something like that against St Mirren, if even that. And he was doing okay as well, actually, when he was on the park. And Inamura set to return to the J League as well, John. The guy got signed and he never got a first team game apart from pre-season friendlies.
Aye, it's confusing, that one, isn't it, with Inamura? But there you go, look, we're not losing anything because we haven't seen anything. We've never seen him. We've seen him playing in a couple of friendlies, seemed alright to me, to be honest with you. But this injury to Iniacho, that's a huge loss for Celtic. I don't think it would have done much to help, mind you, because the tactics are all over the place. I think anybody could score against Celtic right now, to be honest. If any decent manager looks at that Celtic team right now and says, how are we going to hurt Celtic? Well, it's easy. Just hit a long ball down either side and you're in. That's how bad we are.
Yeah, very, very concerning. And I can't see him changing his formation later on tonight. Just can't see it. Anyway, Inamura, he's away come January. Iniacho added to the injury list. Ralston picked up an injury as well in the cup final, but he should be okay for tonight. Was there a one? Shin Yamada, John, where is he? We've got a striker crisis. We signed Shin Yamada, who looked like a very decent wee centre forward. Nowhere to be seen.
Like I say, it's about even with Inamura and Yamada. It's just a very strange thing altogether, that Inamura, Yamada. Both of them look good in pre-season. Especially Inamura. I thought he looked quality. It's bamboozling, isn't it? And obviously, with any actual injured, we've got a crisis up front right now. We've got a crisis all over the whole club. But on the pitch, there's a huge crisis up front. Johnny Kenny isn't going to do anything. I've never seen Johnny Kenny doing anything against St Mirren apart from a run. Did he touch the ball?
Very poor. The boy was very poor. There's something going on at the club that's way beyond anything any Celtic supporter knows about, John, to be honest with you. So, you know, things need to get sorted. You know, and you also look at the other side of this coin, John. We beat Dundee United tonight, and these are all massive ifs, remember. We beat Dundee United tonight, and we beat Aberdeen at the weekend, and the Rangers beat Hearts, John. We're top of the league. So, you know, that's another way of looking at it. You know, it's things can be salvaged and saved at this moment if things are done right at the club. You know, if the manager decides to change the formation for a start, or the board decide to get a new man in. Whatever, John, whatever comes first, this is salvageable. We're still in with a great shout of winning this league if things change now.
No, with him in charge, we're not having a chance of winning the league. I'll tell you that right now. If he continues to play like that, we'll be lucky to finish in the top six. Because right now, Celtic are the easiest team to play against. But I know what you're saying, Xander. It is, we can still win the league. It is salvageable. We can win the league. But even if we lose against Dundee United, we can still win the league. There's miles to go in the league. But with this guy in charge, I've got absolutely zero confidence. And we talk about young people, they've been spoiled with Celtic. And this just shows you, every Celtic fan, young and old, how vulnerable football can be. You're never in charge of the Scottish game, let alone any league. Celtic, the success that we've had now looks like it could be taken away with the drop of a hat, Xander. That's how vulnerable the game is. People think it's solid Celtic. We win. But with a drop of a hat, it can all change, and a club can go backwards very, very fast. It's a very fragile game, and we're starting to see that now. And we've seen it in the 90s with Celtic. I've never seen a Celtic team play as bad as this. Even in the 90s, through the dark days, I've never seen an actual Celtic team on the pitch perform as bad as what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, that's too much change too quickly, John. The managers came in, changed everything around. The players don't know which way to turn. Never mind, trying to adjust to his formation. This 3-5-2-1, John. They just don't know what to do. As I said at the very start of the podcast there, I think he's lost the dressing room already. 3 defeats in a row, and it's gone. Another defeat tonight. That's it. I think he's gone, John, to be honest with you. Although the board is that stubborn, they'll probably stick with it just to annoy the Celtic supporters and fans. Anyway, John, let's get into the Dundee United game then, because there's not really much news apart from Brendan Rodgers about to sign for one of the clubs in the Saudi League. He's going to come out and explain himself as well, apparently, with regards to the Celtic situation. That'll be very interesting. But he's about to sign for one of the Saudi Pro League clubs, John. That's going to happen in the next couple of days. And Jim Goodwin, there's another thing. Jim Goodwin, his team will show no fear against Celtic coming to Tannadice, John. But we knew that anyway. No team shows any fear against Celtic just now.
No. I reckon I could field a bunch of 50-year-olds against Celtic and get a result against them right now. That's the way I feel about it. And Dundee United, they'll be confident for the night. That's absolutely. By the way, we're talking about Brendan Rodgers there. I've not said anything about Brendan Rodgers since he left Celtic, because what did I say to you when he left? I'm not going to say anything bad about the guy until I've heard his side of the story. And I haven't said anything bad about Brendan. And I'm looking forward to hear what he's got to say.
Yeah, and that'll be coming very soon, John. It will be very interesting to hear his side of the story. Okay, one more time, get your guess in for the correct score in this one. Dundee United versus Celtic at Tannadice tonight. Games on Sky Sports. One guess each into the comments for 3 points to get you closer to the top of that league table there on your left-hand side. And if you want to join that league table on your left-hand side, drop us a wee message in amongst the messages, funnily enough, the comments, that you want to join it. Just leave your name, let us know that you want to join it, and we'll add you to it, and we'll give you a few free guesses as well. But I don't think anybody's really in the mood for this competition just now with everything that's going on, to be honest with you, John. Okay, John Beaton. It goes from bad to worse, doesn't it? John Beaton, he is the referee for tonight, and Andrew Dallas, he is your man on the VAR. Your thoughts, please, John?
Oh, the only way you could have made that worse is by saying Don Robertson's the linesman. John Beaton, I prefer John Beaton over Robertson and Dallas, to be honest with you. That's all I can say on that. I don't really care, to be honest with you. Yeah. I'm more interested in the club right now, Xander. A referee isn't going to make a jot of difference to Celtic. If they go out there and perform like that, it doesn't matter who's. You could have a Rangers player refereeing that game tonight, and it wouldn't make a jot of difference if they go out and perform like that, because they're there for the taking right now.
Yeah, that's it, John. I've been reading comments because I put the video also on Facebook, as I always do, the interview videos. I've not been able to make an actual football video, John, for about 4 games because nobody wants to see Celtic getting beat. But the interview video is over on Facebook. A lot of comments, people saying they want Celtic to lose tonight to get this guy out the door. I don't think that myself, to be honest with you just now, John. I want to see Celtic winning tonight and then beating Aberdeen on Sunday, John, to go top, to see Celtic at the top of the league again if Rangers beat Hearts, which I think they will, by the way. It was just nice to see Celtic at the top of the league after all this happening at Celtic just now. But as you know, it's a massive game tonight against Dundee United. That's not going to be easy at all. They're going to be up for it. They're sitting 8th in the league just now, Dundee United, John. They're sitting 8th in the league. No wins in 7. You know, that's clearly probably going to change tonight. Hopefully not. But no wins in 7 matches for Jim Goodwin. So, yeah, I mean, no wins in 7, John. But Dundee United will get some sort of result tonight. It's so obvious.
Aye, well, Dundee United I've watched a lot because I like Dundee United. They're my second team. I watch a lot of them. Obviously, when they're playing Celtic, I want Celtic to absolutely scalp them. But when they're not playing Celtic, I keep my eye on Dundee United, as you know, I have done for years.
Yeah.
They're hot and cold, Dundee United. When they're good, they're very good. When they're bad, they're very bad. So it just depends what Dundee United show up tonight, I suppose. But I don't think it matters what Dundee United show up tonight. I think they're still very capable of taking the result off Celtic. I mean, and the Arabs, they'll show up in their numbers tonight. They'll fancy their chances, a chance to watch their team beating Celtic with all that's going on at Celtic. Right, I sound all doom and gloom, but I'm only reacting to what I'm seeing. This is the worst Celtic team I've ever seen. All right, we know they're good players, but the way they're performing, I mean, I don't remember ever watching a Celtic team performing as bad as what I'm seeing right now, ever. And right now, I think Dundee United, they'll absolutely fancy their chances in it, 100%. They'll go for the win.
Is there any chance he'll revert back to a 4-3-3 tonight?
No chance.
Okay. Dario Momo, he's out for Dundee United. Isaac is also out for Dundee United. Camara is out for Dundee United. And Kukarenko is also out for Dundee United. Celtic are out.
He's a good player, him.
Yeah, he's out, injured, John. Although we were told Declan John had a hamstring injury and he played the cup final anyway. Johnston is out for Celtic. Vickers out for Celtic. Sriracha still out. Iniacho is now out. And Jota also missing from this one, with young Osmond due back in the middle of January, John. So that's another 6 on the injury list. But to add to those 6 on Celtic's injury list, we have Tannadice on international duty as well, John. So things just get from bad to worse for us.
I don't see that as a bad thing, Tannadice being away in international duty. I don't rate the guy. I liked him when he first came in. He's done absolutely. He's always going to remind me of the Nancy era. I don't know why that is. I just get this feeling. I know he never signed him, but in the future, when I think of Tannadice, he's going to remind me of this Nancy era. And look, I don't think it's going to work out for Nancy at Celtic. He's not going to change anything. He's very stubborn. And that's why I'm saying this. I don't think Nancy will last at Celtic. I think he'll be gone soon. But we're talking about the Dundee United game. It's concerning me, this one. Bordering on, I don't even want to watch it. No, it's bad, John. It's bad. There's a lot of very upset Celtic supporters out there. And when I say upset, I don't mean they're annoyed. I mean that, there's fans standing outside the stadiums, things like that, John. All right, let me quickly run through the Dundee United team. Anyway, Richards, Lovu, Esslink, Graham, Strain, Stevenson, Sibbald, Ferry, Dolchek, Muller and Ahmed for Dundee United. Quick run through the Celtic squad, John, and we'll have a wee chat about the squad, right? It's Michael in goal, Donovan, Trusty,
Scales, Tierney, Engels, McGregor, Hatate, Maeda, Kenny and Forrest, who made an appearance in the cup final as well. That's where I think the starting lineup is going to be for Celtic. Where they play, who knows? Who knows? But that'll be the starting 11 anyway, John. Let's have a wee word on Schmeichel. That's another 3 goals conceded for our number 1 goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel. We spoke about him last week before the Roma game and the St Mirren game, John, about how many goals he's conceded. I think that's him up to about 30 goals conceded for the season already. Might be a wee bit less than that, I'm not too sure. But it's far too many for a Celtic goalkeeper, John. We're only still in December.
He's poor. He's very poor. It's time to get Sinisalo in. It really is time to get Sinisalo in. Not that he would make a great difference to the team right now, the way the team's playing, I mean. But Schmeichel's got to... if you're performing like that, he's let in 8 goals. Is it 8 or 9 goals? What was the score against Hearts? 2-1, was it?
Yeah.
8 goals. 2 against Hearts, 3 against Roma, 3 against St Mirren. 3 games, 8 goals, shipped by a Celtic goalkeeper. It's just no good enough. It's just not good enough. And like you says, that starting lineup you just gave there, where are these players going to be playing? Is he going to have James Forrest in goals or centre half or something like that? You just don't know with this guy. He's getting on my nerves, Ander. He's absolutely getting on my nerves. I was watching how many times Engels was playing as a centre half against St Mirren. I was like, what the heck is going on here? Revert back to the way Celtic play. Give us at least a chance. Don't play in your stupid formation where any team can break through you. I wouldn't bet against the Celtic ladies team getting through that Celtic defence. How bad they are.
Yeah.
You know, I'm being serious, by the way. It's poor.
Yeah, I know you're being serious, John. It's just so difficult to watch. There's no fight, no spirit, no shape, no direction. Everything is going in the one direction, and that is down the way for us just now. Anyway, we're hoping that changes tonight against Dundee United, John, at Tannadice, because this can't go on any longer. I think he's got to revert back to that 4-3-3 tonight. He's got to revert back to Donovan at right back, Scales and Trusty at centre half, Tierney on the left, with Callum in the holding role, Engels and Hatate further up, with Dyson on the left, with Kenny up front and possibly Yang or Forrest on the right. That's the team that should be starting tonight, John. But as you say, John, he's so stubborn. This guy will not change anything. He'd rather get the sack than change his formation, John.
Exactly. He is. He's far too stubborn. He's just not what we need at Celtic. The things were bad enough before he came in and dragged us down another 35 pegs down the ladder. It's I fear the worst for the night, and if he loses that game tonight, surely he's got to get sacked. You can't go to Celtic and lose 4 games and expect to survive that. I don't care how stubborn somebody is. You've got to look at the bigger picture. You've got to look after the team. You've got to look after the fans who work hard all week to pay their season tickets and all that, hard-working boys and women out there. And this clown's putting this formation out in the park and making people's lives a misery when for a lot of people it's the only thing they've got in their life.
That's it, John. You know, if nobody believes me what I'm talking about, the supporters and I've not saw one comment from a Celtic supporter that wants Wilfred Nancy to stay on, to be honest with you. And if you don't believe me, just go over to the Facebook Celtic Forever page or the Xander John page. It's the same thing. Go over to Facebook, have a look at the comments in the video I put on the interview with Wilfred Nancy yesterday, and have a wee read at the comments. And there's thousands.
There is every Celtic fan's feeling the same way, but there is a few. I'll read a few comments out before we go, Xander, just to get, just to give the listeners an idea of what the people think. Yeah,
that's it. Wee quick mention on the betting here, and by the way, the pricing on this betting is the exact same as the cup final at the weekend, exactly the same. So there you go, John. That gives you a wee idea how tonight's going to go. Hopefully I'm wrong. 6-1 Dundee United to get the win. the 3 points, 7-2 the draw, and 1-2 Celtic at Tannadice to take all 3 points. A wee quick word, a correct score, because we do the competition. I want to run through a few correct score prices. We have 1-0 to Celtic, priced at 15-2. We have 2-1 to Celtic at 15-2, 3-0 to Celtic at 10-1. A 1 each draw priced at 17-2, a nothing each draw priced at 14-1, and a Dundee United win, Dundee United to win 2-1, sorry, is priced at 20-1. I mean, that's a fair price there for United to beat a very, very underperforming team in crisis, if you like, John. Team in crisis, that's what it's looking like to me. We've seen it all before. We've seen it before many, many times for Celtic, and this has got very similar vibes for me, John.
Aye, it definitely has. I know the young people that's never seen Celtic in this state before. Should take a trip back in your time machine to the 90s when the things were. So, sorry if I call Wilfred Nancy a clown there, by the way, but that's just how I feel, Xander. You know what I mean? I'm seeing clown tactics. That's why I'm saying it. I wouldn't ever say that about any Celtic manager, even Tony Mowbray, John Barnes and Kenny Dalglish and all that stuff. I never ever called them clowns. I wanted them at the club for the better of the club. But I never called anybody a clown before like that. And what I'm seeing is clown tactics. I'm seeing a guy that doesn't care what happens on the pitch, as long as he gets his way, that's all that matters. He's going to learn fast that that's not acceptable to Celtic. And if he loses that game tonight, he is out the door. The Celtic fans won't put up with that. They'll be calling for his head. Yeah,
they're already calling for his head. And by the way, John, a clown is polite compared to some of the comments that are on these videos all over the place, not just here at Celtic Forever, on every Celtic page and channel, John. The comments are a lot worse than getting called a clown, trust me. Anyway, prediction time, John. Prediction time. Correct score prediction for 3 points. We'll not do a predictor this week. We'll do that. We'll leave that for the weekend, because it's Wednesday and there's no many games on tonight anyway. So, what do you think, John? What's your prediction for the score tonight? I'll tell you what I'll do. Give me what you think the score's going to be, and give me what you think the score's going to be for the league table, and give me what you actually think the score's going to be
for the league table. For the big league table, look, I'm no confident. I don't know. I don't think any Celtic fans confident. Dundee United, I think they're a good team at Tannadice. I think this is going to be bad for Celtic tonight, Xander. I really do. If these clown tactics continue tonight, it's not going to be favourable for Celtic, trust me. I watch a lot of Dundee United and they're fast on the flanks. And this is where Celtic are getting hurt. They can't defend either. Set pieces, they just can't do it. I think the score's going to be 2-0 to Dundee United. That's for the league table.
Right. Okay. For the league table, I will say 2-1 to Celtic. But a realistic score for me is going to be a draw tonight, 1 each, something like that, you know. But for the league table, I'll say 2-1 to Celtic. Get your guesses in, folks. Get your guesses in for the league table competition for the fantastic prize. Whoever's at the top of that league table, that particular league table, not the league table, but our competition, it gets the fantastic prize delivered to your door at the end of the season if you're top of the table. Right, John, comments you said there, you're going to read out a few comments there. There's no many nice things getting said just now, but what have you got for us, John?
Well, it's just to give everybody, somebody else's opinion other than ours, just in case they think, listen to these two guys, well, listen to this.
Yeah, go for
it. By the way, how much of these defeats do you think's on the players' shoulders before I start the comments?
Yeah, there's equally to blame as well that they can't take an instruction, John, because the players don't know what to do. You know, it's not their fault. They've been told to go out there and do that, John. But the professional football players, John, they should be putting in a wee bit more effort, as far as I'm concerned.
I totally agree with that. I don't think it's all Nancy's fault 100%. I think maybe I could look at maybe 85% it being his fault because he refuses to change to a formation where Celtic have played for years and had the ultimate success. You know, they've won trophy after trophy after trophy. But this guy comes in and just, I don't want to win trophies. I don't like winning trophies. Let's put Arnie Engels at centre half and Liam Scales on the left forward flank. No, what are you talking about, mate? Get a grip of yourself.
Yeah, we should never, John. Sorry, we should never have employed a manager that doesn't have a plan B. He's not got any experience, especially playing in Europe, but he's not got any experience, John, as a manager, and he has no plan B. And that's what the Celtic board went. The Celtic board went with him. The Celtic board looked at him and went, "Yeah, he's our man." When there was people like Ange Postecoglou kicking about, you know, other decent managers kicking about, I don't want to go through them all because it will just annoy us. So the board, I'd say the board have got a big part to play in this as well, clearly.
Oh, definitely, aye. That's where it all starts, you know. It all starts at the board. And that's where it ends as well. But I don't think he's even got a plan A, Xander, let alone a plan B.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyway.
Seems that way just now, yeah.
Anyway, let's give people the opinions of the general public rather than us two, even though we are the general public. Tim Celtic says, "Just go, lad. Not good enough for Celtic." 100% agree.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of challenges. Just fire through them so it gives us a wee idea.
Aye, exactly. That's what I was going to do there, Xander. Aye. God. Somebody's actually called himself God as a username, by the way. Get a life, you sado, man. Anyway, this halfwit that calls himself God says he thinks he's Pep. Ha 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 ha. The touch of the nose. What are you talking about? Who's Pep? Is
that something you get for a sore stomach, Pep? I'm not sure.
I couldn't tell you what he's doing. Anyway, thanks for your comment, halfwit. Next up was Celtic. I know who Pep is, by the way. I'm just winding up.
And by the way, John, that's another side to this whole thing, isn't it? The Rangers supporters having a right good laugh at our expense because of the Celtic board and an inexperienced manager coming in. You know, we've had decades of laughing at them. A new club, etc., John. And they're still away. I think they're third in the league now, actually, after beating a dreadful Hibs team 1-0 at Ibrox. And you know, it's just giving them jollies, John. So that's another side of this.
Look, they're quite right to have their jollies. They're quite right. Because, like you says, we laughed at them for a couple of decades. Maybe it's their turn. I don't know, Xander. We'll find out soon enough.
That's it. Yeah, we'll find out starting the night.
Celtic quadruple treble champ. That must be the longest username on YouTube. I like this guy. He's always on leaving a wee comment. He says 100% have to prove yourself to the supporters. There's absolutely no doubt about that. You have to do. Aye, that's kind of disagree with that. Moving on.
Yeah.
Mad Scotsman, who's at the top of the big league table.
Yeah.
Says he is digging a bigger hole for himself.
Yeah, stupid comment, wasn't it, John? You know, I don't need to prove myself to anybody. The total opposite is the truth there. You have got to prove yourself to everybody.
Aye, moving on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Noel Whelan says, this imposter has no clue. Thanks for that, Noel.
Yep.
Enjoyed you in that house party programme.
Yeah, I mean, is there any comments that want him to stay? I mean, I've not seen any anyway. There must be a few out there that want the man to stay.
No.
Nah.
Anyway. We would never sell our club, says nightmare situation at Celtic right now, and it looks like the manager has lost the dressing room, lost his marbles as well, actually. already, and even the players are questioning his coaching abilities and anything other than a win tomorrow night, and we're in big trouble. I think we're in big trouble if he stays. That's a bigger worry.
Yeah, I did say on the last podcast, John, that I heard rumours that Callum McGregor was arguing with him over tactics and stuff like that. And now I can see it must have been true. It must have been true, because it looks as though the dressing room's away as well. Now, at least against Roma in the second half, we gave it a wee bit of a go. Against Hearts, we had chance after chance in the first half an hour. But against St Mirren, there was absolutely nothing from any of the players.
No, and it always seems this way. The guy's not got a clue what he's doing. He's changed a winning formula and turned it into poison. That's enough says about that, Sander. Anyway, let's move on. Robert CFC says he was too quick in putting his ideas onto the playing field. With only having met the players, they need to be familiar with his playing style before putting that into practice. He hasn't got a playing style, Robert.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
No, there's nothing. There's no. Let's put it this way. There's not one shining light, is there? Not one.
Oh, it's depressing. It's absolutely depressing. Moving on. Thanks, Robert. Jamesy Boy Doran says the difference in the body language from the players is night and day since Neil stepped down, and it's very concerning right now. It's more than concerning, Jamesy Boy. More than concerning.
Of course, it is. We've seen this movie so many times before, John, and that's where the worry is. That's where James's concern comes from as well. We've seen it before. In fact, it's never been as bad as this. You know, there's never been a manager who's lost the first 3 games, and I lost tonight. Four losses in a row. You know, for any club, not just Celtic, John. I don't know any manager that's lost 4 games in a row. Not drawing or anything like that. Losing 4 games in a row. So we just hope and pray that doesn't happen tonight.
But I hope it does, so he gets sacked. I don't want him there. I just want him out. The board's got to think bigger than that. I know the board are terrible, but I hate saying that about any guy. I hope he loses so he gets sacked. But I think a lot of people feel in the same way, to be honest with you.
So what if he changes back to a 4-3-3 and Celtic win tonight and win on Saturday? Would you feel a wee bit better then?
I don't know. That's what I was going to suggest. That what if he goes back to the Celtic formation and starts getting the best out of the players? Of course, I'm going to change my mind. But I can only go by, and we can all, yourself included, Xander, we can all only go by what we're seeing right now, and that's clown tactics. I tell you what, he's making Celtic look like an amateur team. Every team that goes up against Celtic right now looks like a professional team against a team that was formed to play in the Sunday League. That's how bad Celtic are.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, he's got to change it. He's got to change it up tonight, John. But we'll wait and see what happens. I can't see it myself.
Amateur, anyway. Elaine says, oh, get him out. Really not suited to Celtic at all. Agree with that. Thanks, Elaine.
Sorry, John, I was on mute. Yeah, I totally agree with that as well. Yeah, as I said at the very start, before you even started the comments, John, that I didn't see one comment with anybody wanting the man to stay. Yeah, it's too much damage has been done already, John.
Far too much. He's dragged the club right down. Anyway, let's move on with some comments. Sander, we don't want to drag this out too long.
Yeah.
Just letting people know what the people think.
Yeah.
Alan Duffy. Thanks, Alan. Alan says, well, it's obviously the 3 at the back is not working. It's more than that. 9 goals conceded in 3 games, only 8 goals, Alan. But anyway, he says, if results don't change, you'll be answering to the fans. Well, that's what I says, Alan. You will have to answer to the fans soon, and it won't be pretty.
And they've already been up there at Celtic Park. So that's just the beginning of it. It's just horrible to talk about, John. It really is, isn't it?
It is. It's horrible, but we need to talk about it. Anyway, Xander, thanks for your comment, Alan. Yeah, good comment, mate.
Cheers, Alan.
Let's see. I've already read one of James's out. We've already know what Jamesy boy thinks, so we'll read somebody else's out. CFC Jack 67 says, stop putting only 3 at the back.
I know. It's a disaster. It really is a disaster. But everybody's thinking the same thing. This three at the back, there's no way the three at the back. It's these inverted wingers and these wing backs, running up and down. Yang and Forrest, trying to defend. Just get back to the formation that we know that Celtic are successful with, as John says 2 minutes ago. So that's the bottom line, John. That's the bottom line.
That is the bottom line, Sander. And Chris D just left one of the emoticons looking bemused by the whole situation. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Cheers.
Stuart Robertson says, players need to step up. If not, ship them out. Own yourself, big man. Seen a lot worse. When have you seen worse, Stuart? When have you seen worse Celtic performances than that?
No, I can't think off the top of my head. Obviously, we've had bad performances, but the team still went on to play well, John, and be together. But there's no togetherness at all, so I've not seen any worse.
I've never seen worse. I've been watching Celtic for about 40 odd years. I've never seen worse. I've never ever seen worse performances than that. Anybody could score against Celtic right now. We've seen St Mirren putting 3 past Celtic. A comfortable win for St Mirren. They're absolute guffs, Sander. I'm not talking about St Mirren, I'm talking about Celtic. Good players that we've got. And this guy's sending... I don't want to talk about these tactics. I spoke about it the whole game. It's unbelievable. Anyway, Billy Gray says, awful, one word, that sums it up.
Yeah, it does.
Rav D says, the hard-working fans who pay crazy money to pay for the wages for these coaches and players think you have something to prove. Arrogance of Mourinho and 0% win record so far. Baffling. It's baffling how we signed him. But thanks for that, Rav.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Normally this time of the year, you're talking, what is it? A week, the Christmas week, in fact, this is the start of the Christmas week. Normally you've got the wee Celtic videos and we're top of the league and everything's nice and warm and rosy. It's not going to be like that this Christmas, is it? Unless he reverts back to that 4-3-3. We win tonight, we beat Aberdeen on Sunday, and Rangers beat Hearts. We'll be top of the league for Christmas Day.
Wake up, Sandy, your wheat bits are getting soggy.
Yeah, that's it, John. It's dim and gloom, isn't it? It really is. It really is.
It's horrible. Last comment, Sander, we'll leave that to our Roseanne.
Yeah.
And Roseanne says, the more I see of this guy, I'm getting sadder and sadder. Totally not for me. He just doesn't fit.
Yeah, of course it doesn't fit. He's not been able to fit since the day he walked in the door, changing everything up like that, just ripping up the tactics and putting in his own tactics, and the players just don't have it. They don't have it in them to do anything that the manager's asking, to be honest with you. The wing backs can't defend, the attackers can't tack, the strikers can't score, the centre halves can't keep the ball out the net. The goalkeeper is one of the worst goalkeepers we've ever had now, John. I know he was decent last season, but this season 30 goals conceded almost, John. 30 goals conceded already, and we're only in the middle of December. He's just not got it, has he?
No. You're talking about the goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel, there, raging at the Celtic play. I mean, look, I can't blame Kasper Schmeichel 100%, because there's no defence there from to help him. He's basically, I mean, you can't blame him for everything, Kasper. He still pulls off some good saves. It could have been a lot worse for Celtic against St Mirren, by the way, to be honest, but it should have been 5-6-1. But you can't blame Kasper for the defensive blunders. The defending is the worst you'll ever see. What's Liam Scales doing at attacking? Up in the wings and all that? What's Arnie Engels doing back in centre half position? What's Carl McGregor doing and playing as a centre back at times? Yeah, that's it. It's totally bewildering. James Forrest playing as a right back and all that. What the heck is going on, Sander? It's sickening, to be honest with you. This guy's got to go. If he thinks that's acceptable for a team to have players playing all over the place, all out of position, no defence, a 10-year-old team could score against Celtic right now. The gaps that they're leaving at the back. It's what really worrying. It's really, really concerning. I've never really spoke ill about Celtic in the past. When we were bad before, I just accepted it. I were bad. Things will get better in the future. Now we've got used to a bit of success. And this looks like one step forward and 25 steps back. It's an absolute nightmare. And me personally, even if this guy goes to playing a whatever formation, Celtic Sol formation, I don't think it's going to work out. I just think the players don't want to play for him.
Yeah, that's it. And as regards to Casper as well, John, obviously he's only conceded the 8 since Wilfred Nonch's came to the club. The other 22 goals were under other managers, but it's still 20 odd goals conceded into it. Very poor indeed. Give Sinisalo a chance.
Aye, that is poor. And we've got a better keeper on the bench, and that's we've spoken about Sinisalo for ages on here. Well before what you call him? Mark O'Neill came in. We talked about Sinisalo since the start of the season. How he's a better keeper? Why is nobody playing him? What is going on? Can nobody see that he's a better goalkeeper? Is it only me and you that can see that? And some of the commenters that can see Sinisalo is 100 times better than Kasper Schmeichel. In his heyday, Kasper Schmeichel was a legend. Aye, of course he was. He was good last season for Celtic as well. He's done. Let him go. Get the goalkeeper in there that can stop the ball going out of the net, or at least ship him half of the goals that Kasper's letting in. Yeah, Sinisalo with his distribution's better as well. Kasper Schmeichel is just error-laden, Xander. And you can't blame him for all the goals because there's no defence right now either. 8 goals in 3 games, not acceptable. Time for him to be dropped.
Yeah, but again, the stubbornness, that won't happen, will it? But even Mark O'Neill played Kasper as well. So that's the number one. We need to go with it. As you say as well, John, the defence has got a lot to do with these goals that have been shipped as well.
Well, Liam Scales, before we go, Xander, he's been terrible. These 3 games, he has been absolutely shocking. A guy that we have praised on here time and time again. Him and Trusty. Absolutely brutal. But look where they're getting played. Look where you're seeing these players playing at times. I don't put all the blame at their door.
No. It's all doom and gloom, John. And apologies for the doom and gloom, because normally we come on here, we're quite bubbly. But you can't be bubbly with the situation at Celtic just now. Hopefully we get a win tonight anyway, and it gives us some sort of cheer, but I can't see it. I know I did say 2-1 to Celtic in the predictor, but, it's Dundee United, they're battling for to move up to the top 6, John, Dundee United. So they've got something to really battle for, and the Celtic players look as though they've got no fight in them. So we'll wait and see what happens tonight, John. We'll wait and see what happens. Correct score competition. Get your guess in one more time. Get your guess in for that. 1 guess each. We'll be back on Saturday, folks, to do the preview of the Aberdeen game at the weekend. We'll be back Saturday to do that because the game's on Sunday, so we'll do it the day before, and we'll have a wee word on the Dundee United game as well. John, you anything you add before we go?
No, really, no. I think I've got all my anger out. I think that's it done.
Okay. All right, John, thanks for coming on. Apologies again for the doom and gloom, but it is a very, very tough time for Celtic just now. Hopefully things can pick up very quickly, but it's it doesn't look good, does it? Good luck to Celtic tonight, folks. Good luck to the champions against Dundee United. We'll catch you all on Saturday. Hail, hail for now. Catch you all soon.
See you later, Xander. Hail, hail.
Hail, hail, John. Catch you later, buddy.
The Celtic Forever podcast is a zero advert and zero profit channel. The channel also includes Celtic highlights and player interviews. So join the uninterrupted fun and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.